That brings us into the public hearing. We have none scheduled. And public comment, but before you get into public comment, I'd like to read the rule of public participation, just so everyone on the board understands this, because this is relative to all of us, but also for viewing audience. We want to get better about observing the official public comment procedures, so that when we actually have an audience of more than 2 people one day, we'll have a better understanding of how it should flow. So, comments shall be directed to the commission with questions directed to the chair, which is me. Any person wishing to address the commission shall please speak clearly so that all commission members, as well as other public in attendance, can hear. Persons are asked to address the commission on matters that are relevant to township government, planning, and zoning issues. No person shall be allowed to speak more than once in the same matter, excluding the time needed to answer board members' questions. The chair shall control the amount of time each person shall be allowed to speak, which shall not exceed 5 minutes. The minute didn't say I wrote the rules of
We understand.
That's not okay. If a group of individuals wishes to caucus and select an individual speaker on their behalf, and the chair shall allow a reasonable extension of time for the primary speaker to convey the intended message, but not to exceed 10 minutes. In order to avoid unscheduled debates, the commission generally will not comment or respond to those making comments or asking questions. Silence or non-response from the commission shall not be interrupted as disinterest, not be interpreted as disinterest or disagreement by the commission. Okay. So there leads us into public comment. Any public comment?
Do you have any update on the wireless telecommunications?
We can update that in the next part. I'm not sure. So. Anything else? So that brings us into the approval and correction of minutes from December 17th. So December 17th, you guys have a chance to read over those?
I'm going to make a motion to accept the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry. Motion to accept the agenda.
I'll motion to accept the agenda for none.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Resolution, yeah. So, we are doing a correction of the minutes from the meeting on December 17th. That's not the one, it's the one before that one. That we, the resolution, the dates,
Oh, okay, yeah.
that was in November,
That's November, yeah.
26th. Alright, so, we are, the minutes reflected a different set of dates for meetings than the resolution did that we signed. There was a lot of, moving parts in that first meeting, and some things got missed, so. We are going to make sure that we're correcting all of our meeting dates in the minutes to reflect the resolution 112-62024. 112-62024. 024, yep. And those dates, I'll just read them all off right now. January 28th, 2025 is today. February 25th, 2025. March 25th, 2025. June 24th, 2025. July 22nd, 2025. August 26th, 2025, September 23rd, 2025, October 28th, 2025, November 18th, 2025, and December 16th, 2025. Okay. We get a motion to approve that?
Motion to approve minutes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Alright. Okay, unfinished business and reports. Township Board of Representatives.
Wasn't a whole lot going on. We are working on redoing the retaining wall at the beach and changing some of that stuff around. We're getting quotes on some stuff to do there. It's getting pretty rough. We need to take care of it. Changing the layout a little bit, moving some trees, expanding some stuff. So we're getting quotes on that. And stuff just put in my brain. Cause I accidentally deleted that note.
The beach at Crystal Lake.
So we're getting quotes for that stuff and,
Are you changing the layout at all of the beach?
the ramps are gonna change a little bit. We're looking at putting stairs on one side and a ramp on the other. I'm then expanding the parking more towards the beach to get it off the road a little bit.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, take some trees out, expanding over by the swing set, just, little stuff.
Is that paved, the parking area, or is that dirt?
Okay. Yeah. So, we're just very preliminary, started on stuff, so. Other than that, I don't know. Other than that, I don't really think there's anything really going on. There is potentially some movement on the Verizon stuff. I'm not sure, or hasn't had a chance to look at any of that stuff yet. So we'll have more about that stuff at the board meeting in a couple weeks.
Verizon Tower,
Yeah.
cool. Anything else?
Oh, yeah.
Zoning Board of Appeals representative, we don't
Oh.
have,
I forgot. The concern was brought up to put a person from the planning commission on the ZBA.
Yep.
If you guys want to do that, just select a member and I can let them know and we'll ball rolling on that.
Dr. Witt expressed interest, I don't wanna speak for her now, because she's not here, but. she
And it's not
expressed
something that has to be done
interest
tonight, it's not, we haven't had the ZBA in years, so.
before. Yeah.
We can continue, we can have that conversation when she gets back if you guys want to, so.
Okay.
But yeah, no, they were cool, but just let them know who and who the ball rolling.
We have no ZBA representative, because there's one. And then, Mr. Hall's gone today, so, but he did have some notes for us to read over here. And we'll get a chance to read over the notes from Bob Hall. So, he, in this note right here, he said, if you look at the comments from last week in the packet that you have in front of you, you'll have the meeting minutes from last week, and then he has our comments that we made, on changes to the plan. Anything that, Ben suggested or commented on our points, he put in bold. So to go over all the bold points right now, he said, we made a comment about it'd be cool to make a tennis court, pickleball court. The tennis courts are not owned by the township anymore, that was sold with the school. The property that they're talking about is the next area down. There's actually a fairly large piece of property that the township owns behind the Dublin store, which is interesting, I didn't know that.
That's the Dublin store?
That's a Dublin store right there, yeah. Oxy Bill Snyder. It's something, and he said if we wanted to continue that, the last chapter is gonna be the goals and like the target we're looking for.
Where is that? What
That
am
piece?
I looking at here?
That looks like,
Right behind Double.
like right behind Dublin Heights,
Behind, the house.
Carlson's.
Yeah,
Looks like it's the property right beyond Carlson's.
okay.
Beyond
I was trying to
Carlson's.
figure out what was where here.
But I don't, that's just property the township owns. That's the property, the K&B property that we were talking about when we were talking about
Oh,
that
that's
property on, we thought it was the tennis court, but it's actually the property over there. We were trying to figure out where it was last month. So anyways, we wanna figure out if we wanna pursue a pickleball court or something like that. Definitely something we can make as a goal, that'll be in the last chapter of master plan, which is gonna be like our future goals. So, I personally think it'd be cool to put it where the volleyball courts are, if no one's gonna play volleyball,
In the winter, Oxford.
that'd be cool too.
Just saying.
Hey, Doug.
But pond hockey, well,
Where's the tennis courts that you're talking about? Or
Uh,
where are you talking about?
Well, it's the ones behind the school, the old school, the tennis courts. They're done now, they're gone.
Yeah, the cooks own that now. Okay.
So, we did also mention that it'd be cool to have a full zoning map, in the plan. They mentioned that they have it on the website. That probably makes more sense to leave it as a link to the website, rather than have a thing in the actual plan, because stuff changes. So, it makes more sense. So, he's gonna put a link in here somewhere, when it's all said and done, where to go to find the map, find the, current zoning map. He's gonna add the big M, to our chart. Fawn Crest, not part of the infrastructure, but if we add business activity, he'll add that. Donor ID is partially private and public, not official. And then, he's got an updated list from the fire department to also add in there, because it is a little different. Everything else, I think has to comment about. Planning commission doesn't have a whole lot, we made a large conversation that we have no real say in. Or it doesn't affect the master plan, so please comment on that. So, that does that. If you look in your emails, we've already discussed it a little bit, Andy, if you look in your email too, you'll see an email from Bob Hall, and it's the current complete master plan to date.
oh, okay.
And that Mary Riley, she went through and she crossed off some things and made some comments on there. I haven't had a chance to read it all through, because we got it at 4 o'clock today. But it is cool to see the whole master plan put together, so.
It's very slimmed down, which makes it encouraging.
It's 65 pages right now, which is crazy to think that that's slimmed down, but it does flow a lot better. And the way the graphs and everything looks very eye appealing. Alright. And then, Bob did, mention that he's continued to make comments in our minutes about the master plan, edits, because Ben is, making those changes, which definitely is, if you look at all of our work so far. He also gave us a, handout here from MSU Extension about public comments and open meetings for our reading pleasures. Okay, that concludes unfinished business. New business.
Yeah, you jumped a little bit.
Yeah, I guess I did, but I thought he would want us to mention that in his
That
section.
makes sense,
I
yeah.
guess, oh, I see, yeah. Special meeting, is April 22nd, 2025.
Do we have a time on that? Or is that TBD still yet?
I don't know if we have an official time.
I don't know, I know we had a date, but I don't know if we had a time yet.
22nd, is that on a Tuesday? It appears it's on a Tuesday, so,
He puts on 6, so I don't know if he was just doing ours,
That makes sense.
you know, at the
Yeah,
time, yeah,
as of right now, it looks like
Yeah.
6. But either way, that'll be, they're advertising it and they're doing all the posting of it, so we don't have to do anything, but that's a official thing. Great.
Sometimes to get your,
6.
I would say 6 o'clock unless if we change it, we'll change it, but it's 6 o'clock as of right now. And then, old business, new master plan discussion. Did anybody read over the appendix? Yeah, did you read over it? Any comments on edits that should be made? Should we go page by page or just?
Wasn't a whole lot, really, but
The only thing I saw was like on graduation rates, I mean,
What
here's
page is
a
that on?
chart, it's on page 65. He had a chart for everything except for that, I don't know if we need anything in there, or if it wasn't necessary. You know, it jumps, it has the veterans, it has the bachelor
Oh, I
degree,
see.
but there's nothing on, that's the,
Yeah, so we have one graph for bachelor degree or higher,
that's above it.
and we have a graph for veteran population, we don't have a graph for high school graduation rate,
It's necessary.
which shows change in 18 to 22, because 22 is the last census. From -3 to +2, we have 5 points. Good.
So I don't know if we want to mark for that,
I mean, I don't see why we don't add a graph for it.
because he has it for veterans and he has it for bachelor,
Yeah.
so. Add one there.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the comment.
another graduating rates.
Graduation rates, there's a chart here for graduation rates. But there's no chart, it's absent of chart, there's charts for everything else. That's the issue. We're talking about adding a graph. To be totally
This is for
honest,
the
I don't think the
appendix,
graphs add a whole lot, they're fun to look at,
That's
but,
the only thing that I see, you know, that was.
Yeah,
looks
some graphs.
good.
what did you guys want to add graph for? Andy's.
do you think it's gonna help the story, or just because
I'm
it's?
just, because there was graphs for everything else, I just thought maybe we do the graph for that too,
The
but
school district.
it's not. I don't know if it's necessary, but.
That's starting at page what?
I don't know why not add one more graph to it, we already have like 9 graphs in here.
There's, and that's,
So.
there's a graph for everything else.
So what do you guys, your graph representing what?
So,
I didn't catch that. I was-
there's a graph for the veteran population.
Yeah.
Which we have a higher than average in the US and Michigan for veteran population.
Mhm.
Which, because this right here is supposed to help us make decisions as far as what we want
Right,
the
yeah.
community to look like. So since we have a higher veteran population, maybe we should look at that and see if we can
Right,
maximize,
yeah.
you know. But, our high school graduation went from -3 average, like, compared to the state, to +2 over the state. So a swing of 5 in a positive direction. Just why not have a positive thing in here?
Upward swing.
Yes. We have the same thing right here for, the population went up, which is cool.
I got this one too, that's supposed to be degrees.
Oh, that decreased. So page 65, it says, a bachelor degree or higher decrees, that should be degrees.
Should be degrees.
The third paragraph, first sentence. Any other changes you guys think we need to make here?
I don't know if we need to do it. One per, that's weird. I don't know if we need to do 5%, because he has it
Yeah.
here, you know, it just goes up and there's no conditions.
Oh.
5%.
That's, hey, we gotta show eye. That's a good point. So that's the page. Page is that? It's the last page, it's not
Yeah, it's
numbered.
the last
So page 66,
Six.
which is unnumbered.
Page 66 for the decree.
No,
No, this is different. Well, I can wait for you, when you're ready.
Just the different one.
This keyboard's throwing me off. Okay.
Okay, and then, page, well, I guess we should probably make that a comment. Page 67 is, 66 rather, is not numbered. And also page 66, if at all possible, it'd be nice to put a 5% on the top line of the graph, of the total household graph. Just some comments on the numbers here, though. I was surprised that we had, the population went down 4, but the households went up 47. I mean, we have less families or more single people living in houses. It's interesting.
I know, I
I
thought so
think,
too, I thought it was.
it's also nice, I mean, the household median income is, it'd be nice to, in other graphs I've seen all the other graphs in here have total population in the graph. This is the Michigan standard, US standard. It'd be nice to have, like, I think household income would be nice to have a graph for. Like, how do we rack
Just
up
show
to
that
Michigan or the state, you know?
no, that makes sense.
I know it went down from 2020. Per capita though, it went up. But if you have smaller households, you're gonna have that. So,
Like single person cabins or something, people just moving up here.
that's a good point, but it's not a household though. There is a
Doesn't
thing
count
for,
for-
there's housing units went up. But I guess I'd like to know what the actual term for household is.
What was that?
It says total household and housing units increased.
Hmm.
I thought a household would be like a homestead piece of property.
That's how I.
In my
would
opinion,
do
is
it,
what
yeah.
I assumed. Where, like a housing unit, so they're saying that for 2020, 2022, we built like, what, 19 houses? It's not, you know, we probably tore down some too, but, oh, we definitely tore down some. We went from 1475 to 1432, so we tore down 35 houses. And then in 1 year, we built, in 2 years, 1 year, we built 62 more. I mean, I don't think we're that bad.
Yeah,
But that's census data, so what are you gonna say?
no.
So what was the 5%?
Okay, page
66.
page 66, first off, there's
It's
a
not
no
numbered.
date, no page number. But, on the graph for total households, it does not say 5% on the top line. And the number that we have is probably like 4.5%, so,
Or total?
yeah, very top line. This helps illustrate it. This is the 5 at the top right
Yeah.
there. This number is so close to that line, we probably should have that number. And granted, that's a formatting thing. It probably got cut off, honestly, when you made the graph.
What is the difference between there's like a guy that came up here to open a business. He lives alone, or she lives alone, has a cabin, they live in all year round, or whatever, you know, a small house, and they bring in a sizable income. Does that count as a household?
Do you think it'd be out of line to ask him to define household and?
I don't know, are we like
We're getting picky with that.
splitting the hair? I don't know, it just,
But
I
when
don't
people
know.
look at
I
it.
guess I've never thought about it.
I assumed households are people that live here.
Right,
I would say
think
so.
that was-
I don't think they
So-
care who it is or how many people are there.
Yeah, housing unit is gonna be structures people live in.
Yeah, I would think one would be homesteaded properties and one would be cabins and stuff.
I'd like to know who's renting a house for $542 though.
Yeah,
Listed, yeah.
Yeah,
Sell my house.
22, I mean, that's like heavy COVID time, they weren't that cheap. that's the average house, which means there's just as many lower than that and higher than that. So. The mean travel to work though is interesting, and
I went down, yeah.
a while ago, and they do mention that the work from home is what led to that. But I'm sure you've read it, but way earlier in this section, we talked about how many people that work from home. It was actually a large number
Yeah,
in this township.
Oh,
I'm trying to, I did read it, and I'm gonna comment on that, cause I was surprised by the number
Yeah,
of people who did work from home.
yeah. I'm not sure how to like not capitalize, but how to like help them out because they're working from home. I'm not sure what we provide to help them out,
Yeah.
but it's nice to know.
I don't know, I think.
Free Starlink.
Farmers markets and stuff is gonna help a lot of those people. Some of those people, so,
So we're doing that.
well, they're supposed to, hopefully they take fishing around the lake, and then do the farmers market.
Oh, really? That's cool.
They were approved to do it, so,
That's great.
yeah.
Is the board make the,
Yeah,
was
they
allowed to be a farmer's market?
They made a
'Cause-
decision last year to do it, and then Caitlin couldn't get it together right away, and so she said she's gonna do it this year.
Who's Caitlin?
Caitlin, she is a realtor, or she worked for the realtor, I think she now is working at, the Flock Fisher, right up here, but anyway, she, her and Bree and Macy Powell were going to do the farmer's market.
I'm just thinking about that the other day, why there isn't one, get to go all the way to Manistee
Yeah,
or
Well,
Canada.
I definitely wanna talk more about that later.
Yeah, for sure.
But that can be, that we can also talk about that in our goals.
yeah.
You know, I think it's wild. I was on the phone with Spectrum the other day, and, you know, I wanted to switch my internet provider. He's like, oh, what's your address?
So no, for
And he said, I am like a mile
The one with the.
north of where I live.
Sorry.
That's okay, that's
A
all right.
mile north.
That's okay, when I was trying to get it, they kept saying, yep, it'll be there in 2 weeks, yep, it'll be there in a month, yep, we're not coming there at all. Oh, cool.
Yeah, good to know, yeah.
Yeah,
Alright, so we talked about the master plan, I think, well, we all said about the master plan
there's really
changes.
nothing, there's really not a lot to the appendix.
No.
Is this gonna be appendix A, B, C, are we gonna have more than one appendix? If so, should we label it right now as appendix A? I don't know. But I'm sure that we can make that change later, depending on how many appendices we have. Okay, so next meeting topics. I think we're at a point now where we don't have a new set of master plans to go, another chapter over right now. Should we just, now that we have the thing from Mary Riley, and we haven't had either of your opinions so far of master plan looks, should next time just be a conversation of the whole master plan overall?
After we get to look at all the.
Yeah.
drawings.
Well, that's gonna take some reading at home.
I mean, if Ben does email us the new packets, can we look at those too, just to keep it rolling, so we're not get behind? This would be my only point, because like I said, if we're trying to do it by April, we didn't have a whole lot, we didn't give ourselves a whole lot of time to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my only thing, we kind of set an April deadline for it, so that
Well-
doesn't give us a whole lot of time to,
We want it to be done in February,
yeah, I know.
next month, and we don't even have the goals yet.
Yeah. I don't think there's more, this, the append, what did we have, chapter 9? We have chapter 9? Invent,
Well, we just did chapter 7 last week. And last chapter 7, remember we're a chapter off or whatever?
yeah,
We did public infrastructure last week, last month. And I think that's chapter 6.
I think we only have, I think the plan was to only have more. That's why April worked out, I'm just saying if Ben does get us the stuff, then we,
Yeah,
you know, just let's put it in there to review the next chapter when, when Ben gets it to us.
yeah.
Just so we see it.
Chapter, so,
I don't know. I don't know how many it's gonna be, I know we're getting really close to the end now.
Yeah.
well, we have chapter 7, which is, local plans and regulations. We have chapter 8, which is future land use plan, policies, goals, and actions. And that's the last chapter. No, then you have how to get there, right?
Yeah.
Which would be chapter 9. If they incorporate that in 8, which they did. So, chapter 8 is gonna be the big one. Chapter 7, yeah, that worked out good, so, I will contact them, because you shouldn't have to do that, right?
Don't matter. I work for you, Doug.
Contact them.
I don't like that anymore.
Contact them and ask
We have to tell them what to do.
about chapter 8, which is gonna be local plans and regulations.
Next meeting topic is chapter 8.
So the next main topic is chapter 8, local plans and regulations. And then
Just a
We should-
number I'll review.
we should probably all think about things that you might wanna see, that you could think of. We're not gonna finalize any of this, but we're not going to, cause chapter 8, we're gonna have, the public meeting is about chapter 8. So,
Have a discussion on anything you'd like to add or see in there? Is that what you said? Have a discussion on what you would like to see in there? For chapter 8?
yeah. Think about what you guys think about. Like, I wanna think of what court.
Now, doesn't the township own that corner at, Sixth and C?
I committed
Bosch,
to,
No, but
It's
don't
in
they,
Seaman.
that corner there too?
where the
you
gas
stop.
station used to be,
Yeah,
or
where
the flash
the
station.
IGA used to be.
Okay.
Don't they own that? I thought we owned
I
that.
don't know.
Because that would be really nice to have a big pole there too. Just saying, because instead of going all the way to,
Yeah,
but anyway, just like. Future memories.
right.
But then, you guys do look at the current, master plan, you get kind of a good layout of what it's gonna look like.
Okay.
I got a feeling we're gonna slim this up a lot, so. Okay, so next meeting, we're gonna talk about chapter 8, the regulations and, local plans, for land use. Proper, local plans and regulations, I can't remember my own writing. We're talking about that, we're talking about, let's get some ideas started for the, chapter 9, which is gonna be the future. Land use plan, policies, goals, and actions. And then we're at the doorstep of a meeting with, everybody. Anything else you guys can think of we need to add there?
I'm good with money.
Alright, well, that concludes old business. Public comment. Any public comment?
I'm just asking, if you guys could speak up occasionally, it's really hard to, I didn't hear what you said would be a good thing on that corner. We can't
Oh.
hear a lot of what's being said.
Maybe we can move the table over here next week. But, we mentioned, pickleball courts. We're just playing around with the idea of, we have to have future plans in here, and it'd be fun to have pickleball court, so.
Property is there.
We don't even know if we own that.
I don't know if we own it.
I don't-
know
I
we
don't-
used to put
I got
things
two
on it.
things done. It would be really good for you guys to know what properties are owned, so I don't know why that's not been provided to you. It's an easy lookup
Mhm.
through the records, property records. And, I just wanted to make note that I didn't say this on the meeting. GFL does accept glass for recycling.
Okay.
This says it does not.
Okay.
That was the other thing.
That's my bad.
No, that was the other thing, we could talk about it. If we do change the recycling, it's gonna increase taxes $18 a unit parcel.
No, but
And that's, not something we decided we wanted to do at this time.
would be, I think there's some misinformation that's not being understood, so. I mean, I don't know if that's in your realm, probably not.
We are here for one reason, that's master plan right now. I don't know anything about GFL, but, I think we only mentioned GFL last time because
You guys were talking about
specifically
recycling.
recycling was in the plan.
Yeah.
And we called out who we used, and we thought maybe we shouldn't be calling a person specifically out in case something changed in the time period when this plan was still active. But, yeah. Any other public comment?
No, we're done.
Alright, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I will make motion to adjourn.
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.